everybody, and welcome to the Drowning Pools podcast. This is episode 17, and we got Deshaun and Derek with me.
Hello.
Hello.
And I press the buttons, also known as Cameron. Yeah. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm alright.
Doing alright?
Yeah.
So, hey, guys, can I tell you something?
What's up?
Comics are pretty fucking cool.
Comics?
I don't know about all that.
Comics?
What have you been reading lately?
Comics? I went to Dave & Buster's last week. Or not last week, but last week.
Is this the thing that you tweeted out?
And I bought some comics with the tickets I had.
Mm-hmm.
And man, oh man, do I actually enjoy reading. You know that skill you get when you're like 5 to like plus?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually enjoyable. I read
So what are you reading?
I read Dark Reign, Avengers the Initiative.
Oh yeah. That was alright.
Yeah, Taskmaster is a lot goofier than I thought.
Yeah.
It depends. He's kind of in that Deadpool zone where he's like sometimes he's goofy, sometimes he's lethal.
I gotcha. Yeah, it was a lot. He was a lot more quippier than I thought he was going to be.
He's almost like a Spider-Man villain in a way where he's kind of
okay.
That, like he's like an elite goon almost.
Yeah.
You know, so
that makes sense because he's a Spider-Man villain. That makes more sense.
Well, he's not actually a Spider-Man villain, but he's
in the Spider-Man universe.
He's got that feeling where it's like, you know, if you weren't a mercenary, you'd just be robbing banks or something. You know, you're just not even a higher level threat. You're just some loser.
I gotcha. But he does have some cool stuff where he just that perfect copy ability.
Oh yeah, photo reflexes or some shit.
Yeah, which is ridiculously awesome. But
yeah, it's kind of broken.
The funny thing is it's a real thing too.
Yeah, but
it's just
got a bunch of supervillains in the waiting.
Yeah, it's just super rare though. But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a cool little portion of my week. Another thing is I went rollerblading. Mm-hmm. That was a good time. I am super out of shape, but man, it's fun.
Oh, are you?
Same, bro.
Yeah. Like, so I stuck it out though. Like, I'm super out of shape, but I went for 2.5 hours on my rollerblades.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, like I was dying.
Funnily enough, a lot of like random shit is just a really good workout.
Yeah. So I did that, and as I said, I went to Dave & Buster's. I spent much more money than I should have, but man, I had a great fucking time. I had a great time.
Sometimes you just need those in your life, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went and played some basketball there. Did a little shooting hoop thing. So they both have the the carnival one, which is like this short hoop that's like only like 6 feet high, and you have to try to. And then they have the actual 3-point shot one too. And hey, guess what? I actually have the muscles to shoot now. So I have a better shot than I ever had.
Okay.
It's really weird. All those years of playing basketball, no shot. Stopped playing basketball for 4 years, has a shot.
So you're saying you went from a 0 to a 1?
Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Progress is good, you know? You leveled up. That's fine.
No, I would actually say I went from like a 2 to a 3 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, there's no one in front of me blocking my shot. So.
Oh, that's right. True.
But yeah, so it was still fun. Like I had a great time. I set records on most of the games I played, which is all that mattered to me. Mm-hmm. The only one I didn't feel like trying to do was the Galaga one because that was 800,000 points, and I'm not in Fighting Spirit of Galaga anymore. I love that game. I'll play the shit out of it, but I'm not spending $150 trying to beat the high score.
I don't know, dude. Galaga's I don't know. You could have tried it. It's not that hard.
Well, I mean, I could probably get to 700,000 consistently.
Mm-hmm.
But getting past that is where I'm like, where I struggle. I struggle hard after that.
So I'm trying to think when that even is, when it starts to get.
That's like getting close to like stage 20-ish.
Yeah.
20, 30, I think. I haven't played it in a long time, so I don't know the scores anymore. I just know after stage 1 or after stage 3, you should have roughly 30,000 points. Because once you get to stage 3, you should get your extra man, which is 20,000 points, and then you get your next extra man at 70,000, and then every 70,000 points after that, you get an extra man.
Extra man.
Yeah.
That's such an old school way of referring to it. Your extra man.
Yeah, I guess it is. Another life. But, well, in that game, it's literally an extra man, because if you let one get captured, you can get 2 at once.
Yeah, you can destroy the ship that captured it and upgrade or whatever.
I just call it New Game Plus.
But yeah, so I did that. Had a good time there. Played Street Fighter. I played it on stream. I yelled more than I've ever yelled at Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I laughed at myself after I got off stream. Now I'm going to go play the game again and not be so rage monstery. Because,
for at least 10 minutes.
I was angry.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Cameron's in the salt mines.
Like, it was super, super bad. It was really, really bad. And then I lost to a guy in silver who literally just jumped. Like, he just jumped straight up over and over again. And I couldn't deal with it because I was too salty to actually try to fight him.
You let your frustration kill all your skill.
Yeah. It was bad. But yeah, so I did that. A friend of mine, maybe known as Derek Goodwin, bought me a game called Eunice. And I have to pay him back for it, so technically he didn't buy it for me, but he got it for me for now.
I bought it for you. I didn't gift it for you.
Yeah. So yeah, but he is a pretty cool friend. I won't deny that.
He neglects to mention that he hates me for the fact that I also bought him cross tag.
Yeah, he did buy me. He also bought me cross tag. You know. Yeah, I have to play him in that now, and it's gonna suck because I fucking hate that game.
You only hate it because you don't know it. You said that yourself. So just learn it and you'll love it.
I know. I do like just running in Akihiko and Yang. It is the coolest shit when you get them connect.
Yeah.
Akihiko is probably my favorite just because of the fact he teleports behind people and punches the shit out of them, and teleports to the other side and punches the shit out of them.
I'm telling you, like, that game is so awesome. Although, admittedly, I wish I could just play fighters and play Ruby in fighters. I don't give a shit she's not in Dragon Ball. I would pay a full $60 release just to get the 4 Ruby characters in Dragon Ball Fighters.
I was gonna say, do you have it on the PC?
Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
Just mod them in there.
Just put Ruby on Goku Black.
Yeah, pretty much.
Seems legit.
Every time he does a sweep, just make it into the arc strike with Ruby.
Yeah. She actually plays a lot more like a Dragon Ball character than I was expecting. Because like most of the other characters don't.
But she goes dash, 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 dash.
Well, it's just like her combos are a lot more, like, make a lot more sense to me naturally.
I got you.
Like Chie, because I was playing Ruby Chie just this morning, and or like training mode, whatever.
Yeah.
And Chie's are like, I still can't figure out how to do a launcher on her. Like, I just don't get it.
Gotcha.
I found one launcher, but I can't move after it, so obviously it's not the one I want. And so it's just like,
can you jump cancel?
No, because it's a special move.
Okay.
So, like, I'm sure she has one. I just haven't found it yet.
You know what you need to do off that then?
Look up a guide.
No, well, I was gonna say no. Tag. Do a tag combo.
Yeah, I was thinking I should just call Ruby's assist, but the issue there is that I think it doesn't launch her after that. So I'll just have to figure it out.
Yeah, so it's either you'd call her right before you do the move, and that way when the move actually launches, Ruby comes in and connects, or you do it right after, and same thing.
Yeah. I found out a way to extend Ruby's light auto combos, because you're supposed to be locked out of movement after her 4th hit. But if you call in, at least for Chie, if you call in the assist, during your 3rd hit, Chie will bounce them forward, and you'll cross them up so you can start hitting with the lights, or with the mediums, and then jump into the air and continue the combo.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure that's like super old tech that got discovered within the first like 24 hours the game was out,
Well,
but it's new to me. So
I was gonna say you're day one right now, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter whether someone's like come up with a bunch of shit or not. If you are playing the game for the first time, that is day one, no matter like how long the game is.
It's new to you.
yeah,
Yep.
it was cool. I was watching a video. He was like, you can't do anything with this. I'm like, oh, I wonder if I could, use an assist to extend that. I was like, sick.
There's a lot of stuff like that. That's the one thing I do like about tag fighters, team fighters, whatever you want to call them, is that there's just so much tech that's undiscovered for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's see. I played that, got into Eunice and played my Enkidu because man, oh man, that guy is so much fun. Did you guys know there's like some super big bug about Eunice on the computer?
No, what was it?
Mm-mm.
So when you plug a controller in, it causes the game to freak out and think you're pressing down, back, and all the buttons. So trying to get into the game for like the first hour and a half, I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on because I went into training mode and it's just when that motion gets pressed, it forces him to go into grid, and since you're in training room, grid immediately goes back to full after you use it. So he's just sitting in the corner, ding, 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 doing like this little pose and jumping in the air at the same time over and over again. And you can do this with every character. Like, all the menus work, but as soon as the game starts, it just goes ding, 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 ding.
So what's the fix?
I have no idea. I just kept restarting the program until it worked.
Oh, it just worked eventually.
Yeah. Like,
I'll probably unplug your controller and plug it back in.
I tried that. Does not work.
Well, never mind.
I also tried doing the whole thing where you make it so that the big screen mode doesn't read anything but your controller. Didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Made it so that only the controller was available. It didn't work. But it's working now, so hey.
Yeah, I mean,
something's got to work. So that was some funny shit though. That also made me very salty though. I just wanted to play the game. It took me like an hour to fix, and it wasn't even a fix. It was just I turned it on and off again enough times where it finally decided to boot up correctly.
Sad pandas.
Yeah. I think
Fuck pandas.
Fuck pandas, but they're almost extinct.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Pandas are literally the worst animal in existence. So
I don't know, man. Black Widows get up there for me.
no, Black Widows, defend themselves and they mate and they serve a purpose.
Pandas serve a purpose
Stupid-ass
of making
fucking
sure we don't have
bears.
too much bamboo in the world. Fuck you.
I don't think that bamboo's really hurting nobody right now.
I mean, you ever been speared by bamboo?
Not yet.
I mean, shit hurts.
Just you
but
wait.
I won't.
That's
I
just
never
you
rule
wait.
anything out.
that shit sucks. Hey,
Ah, God.
did you hear about bamboo torture? That shit's disgusting.
They just like
They just
Is it?
strap you
is
to
that
the
the thing where
floor and they let the bamboo grow through you.
Yeah. That's the shit, though.
That is some fucked up shit. Because bamboo don't give two shits. It's like, I'm gonna grow here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a rock in my way? Not anymore.
No, not yeah. I'm just gonna move the rock, otherwise cleave straight through it.
Uh,
That's the most insane shit ever.
bamboo is some cool shit. But I think that's my week, pretty much, in a nutshell. Comics.
That was fun.
Comics. Not active.
So are you gonna start reading comics now?
Think-
Now that you know you like reading.
I think so.
Mhm.
I got 4
do
more.
yourself a favor. Don't read Attack on Titan.
No, okay, I won't. But
Good.
I got.
Oh, I did. I read Attack on Titan.
What did you get up to?
The how it's turning into Game of Thrones.
I got up to like 22 or 24, and
I'm caught up all the way. Like I know what's
yeah.
going on.
no, I got to like 22, 24, and I was just like, this is fucking no.
Flesh Gundams.
Yep.
Really tough.
But yeah, I have Batman Detective Comics and the Savage Hawkman left to read from the things I bought.
Mm-hmm.
And also I have Richie Rich, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna read that.
Yeah, well, I was just like, why do you even have that?
It was just in a pack of 4. Like you buy 1 sack, and
Uh-oh.
it gives 4 comics. and I saw that there was Hawkman and Taskmaster. So I was like, I'll get that set. And in the middle, where you couldn't see what was in there, was Richie Rich, and I'm like, the fuck is this shit?
That's fine.
Dude, I actually love those old comics, like the really like kids ones. They're always great.
Well, I mean,
I used to read comics in the newspaper all the time.
Yeah, same. I just never liked Richie Rich.
Yeah. No, I my dad has like this tub of like comics from when he was a kid.
Oh, nice.
And like he has some like Archie ones and some Richie Rich ones, and those are always funny because just it's so stupid. Like it's always so absurd the stuff they get up to.
Yeah, but it's usually also like simple stuff that becomes absurd. That's like it didn't need to get to this point, but they let it happen this way. So I guess here's where we are.
Yeah,
I always like the teen, like the old teenager one. I forget what it's called, but it was like the teenager and his mom and dad are always like, "Hey, you got to do this," and he's like, "Oh, mom." It's just like the dumbest shit. Yeah, no, I'm dumb.
Is it Zits?
It's Zits. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah. Fucking Zits.
That was the one I will always remember of that because it has changed my life forever. Was the hey, if you just smile in the morning, it'll help your day out.
Gets hit by a car.
Yeah, no, right. I mean, that's how that zombie anime started, right? Which
one? The one with the big titties?
The one with the idol who raps and whatnot? Zombie Saga or something like that? Zombie Saga, I think. All I know is I love the fucking memes that came from that shit.
Man, I hate anime.
Yo.
Sounds like a bunch of dumb bullshit.
I know, right?
That's like overgeneralizing every movie into, things just blow up.
I hate anime, but I'll read the manga all day.
Hell yeah.
I get a lot more plot for my collection.
If I'm forced to read it, then the plot matters more.
Fair.
So if it's just some dumb idols singing dumb bullshit to zombies, at least I'll know what's going on.
I never watched this show. I just know the memes.
I don't even know the memes.
I just like
I know the High School of the Dead memes. Where the chicks got huge titties.
Dude, I fucking love that show.
You watch it for the plot or the backstory?
Never watched it.
You watch it for the plot or the backstory?
It's like High School DxD, bro. It's like you come for the plot and then you stay because they're actually interesting characters.
No, I'm good.
Although High School what's it called? High School of the Dead is a lot less character driven, but it's still funny.
You can take out the fan service and maybe I'll watch it.
I mean, that's like 95% of what's going on.
What is it? High School TNA. Tits and ass.
Okay, High School DxD though is actually well written. Not well written, but it's like actually interesting.
See, the issue for me is that I need a ratio of like 9-1 of fan service. You can show me some fan service.
You want 9-1, dude? High School of the Dead is where it's at. There's like 9 instances of fan service for like 1 plot point.
Okay, I need 9 plot points and 1 fan service.
Okay, need to phrase that better. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I'm good.
Like
I'm just never gonna check it out.
I can't fucking stand when like you're watching a badass fight scene and they're like, jiggle physics.
Yeah, then her titties like freak out like a Dead or Alive game.
And you just sit there for like a good 10 seconds in the middle of the fight, just like, all right, why are we zooming? Okay.
Yeah, it's like
cool.
It's just
guess what? I saw those titties when they were talking. I don't need to see them in that kind of motion.
It's just frustrating. Like a perfectly good scene is ruined by some dumb bullshit.
My dick is not going inside her. I do not give 2 shits.
Like I don't get the interplay between like titillation and action. Like if it's like a heavy duty action scene and the chick's like boobs are flopping all over the place and her clothes are getting all ripped off, I'm more like uncomfortable. I'm like everybody's like just looking at this chick get beat up or something, you know? Like
I was gonna say,
do not do this.
Don't you know guys like guns because they can think of it as their dick? And when they kill other guys, it's because it's like they want to fuck but they can't.
What?
Is it? That was actually a thing.
That is a thing.
That's like a Tumblr meme or something.
It's because a philosopher came out and talked about guns and how
Yeah, that's what it was. It was like an article.
Yeah.
And it was some fucking stupid bullshit.
Which
like,
I mean, it makes sense for certain people, but as a general statement, it doesn't really work.
Yeah. Well, it's just like the if you have a nice car, you have a tiny dick type thing.
Yeah.
It's just a straw man generalization, like for no reason really. Just because some dudes who are assholes have nice cars.
Yeah, it all just comes down to it worked for some. Like that's all philosophy. Philosophy is like some of it's going to be right for some people, and then for others, it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah,
it's almost like we're individuals.
Yeah, but
it's almost like philosophy is a bunch of bullshit.
But it is true though. Philosophy does work. It's just it doesn't. It's not practical because it actually takes you like breaking down someone. And being
it works in the sense that it's pointing out the obvious.
It works on a one-on-one aspect rather than like a general statement.
I feel like we're getting away from the point of this podcast here.
Well, I mean,
yeah, titties.
That's the point of my other podcast. No, let me just go into my week here.
No, we're not done on the titty topic.
Let me go into my week and I'll tell you.
He's like, no, I got more titties for you. Don't you worry.
I got titties for you.
I got two right here talking to you.
Oh man,
no, dude, my week was like pretty mundane, except I had so you know how you're having issues with your controller in Unist?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had this issue for like 3 days in Dragon Ball where my save file was corrupt.
Oh god.
However, it wasn't corrupt in we lost all your data. It was corrupt in hey, we can't save. So, like, it's just, it was infuriating. So, like, every time I did anything, it was like, we could not save your data. Would you like to try again? I'm like, every time I would click OK 3 times, and then the fourth time, I was just like, fuck it. And so, like, I ran around for 3 days. It kept my rank, and it kept my Zenny, but, like, anything else, like, I couldn't change my team. I could, like, change my team for the session, but I couldn't change it, like, permanently.
Yeah.
So every time I had to fix one of my teams. And then finally I figured out what I had to do. I had to like go into the system file. So first things first, I had to like download a coding software to open up this file because this file was hidden and it was hidden from hidden. Like you couldn't even see it if you clicked hidden stuff. So I had to open it from a coding like a coder. Oh god, what's it? Visual Studio Code. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And I had to find it there. And then on top of that, it wasn't even the file that the fix what said it was online. It was actually a different file in a subfolder under that, like in the same folder as the file that I deleted.
Yeah.
And then that's the file I had to delete. And finally, after like 3 days, I could save. And Kayla was over; she was working, and I like finally figured it out and like could save my team. I was like, "Fuck yes!" And she just looks over at me and she goes, "Did you just win the lottery?" And I'm like, "No." And then she's like, and just goes back to her work.
You know what's funny is that when you win the lottery, it's gonna be like, oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was just like it was infuriating, bro. I was like trying to do everything. I even uninstalled the game and reinstalled it before I figured out the. And I was just like, well, fuck.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does. Anyway.
But yeah, so like, honestly, if I ever won the lottery, that's probably my reaction. Be like, oh, did that fucking just happen? All right, well, I guess I go and put on a mask and go to the news now.
I feel like I just try to save it all or like invest it in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bitcoin or something. I don't know.
I'd go and hire a accountant and have them help me with my money.
What's oh god, there was a game I was playing where like you
was there now?
Start fuck off. Where oh god, I forget what game was it? Fuck, this is gonna kill me. One of the games I was playing, like I guess it was at the beginning of each like round or whatever. But you got money and you could spend it on stuff. And then like one of the tips that kept popping up was like don't spend it all on Bitcoin.
Was it auto chess?
No.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
What game is it?
Because I've seen it, but I don't know.
I'm trying to find it.
What console was it?
I think it was PC.
PC. Was it AdCap?
Bitcoin.
No, it was like a legit game.
A legit game.
Damn, I've totally seen that. I feel like I've seen it recently. Don't spend it all on Bitcoin.
I just like I don't. My brain Bro.
Wizards of Legend?
Possibly, but I haven't played that recently.
Okay, then not that.
I think it was a multiplayer game.
Multiplayer game. Fortnite?
They don't have money though.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It was just reminding me of it.
Okay, fair enough. Trying to think what it could be. Oh well. Deshaun, is that all your week? That's all your week, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I found a new exit route for Android 21's combos in Dragon Ball, and that's basically all I did.
TBC is a good game. It's a good game.
It's legit so much fun.
It can be. It sure can be.
You're just mad.
I'm just mad because I want to learn new characters, but I don't want to research new characters.
But you don't want to learn new characters.
I don't want to I want to be able to button mash and find stuff out and be happy with that.
Well, time to go into training mode.
That's not what I want to do.
Well, you want to button mash and find stuff out. That's where to do it.
You could always just play Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 2 and 3.
I could also just go play Marvel.
You could play a lesser game. That's true.
I don't think it's lesser. In any means.
You also think Sonic X is a good show, so
it's gonna be a running joke, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's because I literally watched a Sonic X review earlier, and the dude was literally saying everything I was telling you about why it's a bad show. I was like, yep. All right, gonna throw this back at Cameron. Give me a moment.
Yep. I gotta write down these points here.
I'll send it to you later, so you know.
All right. All right, I appreciate it. I'll take a look.
What about you, Deshaun? What'd you do?
So I went to the Who concert.
That was a good time. Yeah, good time.
Yeah, it was fun. I never really listened to the Who that much before, but hearing them, I realized how much I really like their music. So
I got you.
They're on the playlist now.
Nice.
There were a lot of people there, and I got a little drunk. I won't lie.
Yeah.
But it was just because we were having a good time.
That's the best way to drink, is just only drink to a certain level of content.
Yeah. I only had like 2 drinks. They were just kind of big drinks.
Yeah, I got you.
Let's see. That's probably the biggest thing I did. After that, I bought Guacamelee 2, and I was gonna stream it, but for whatever reason, so you guys were having controller issues. I was also having controller issues. I could not get my PS4 controller to work with Steam for some reason.
I know how to fix that.
Is it because of big picture mode?
No, well, kind of, but you have to go to your settings and put the controller to set to PS4.
I did that.
Okay, then
I did all that.
Then you have to open up.
It was just not working. It was just not reading my PS4 for some reason.
Yeah.
Like I was restarting my computer and shit, and just no matter what I did, it was not reading.
Yeah.
So it took forever for me to just kind of randomly have it work. I don't know why it worked, but it just did all of a sudden.
Hey,
so,
you had the same thing I did.
Just so I eventually, I played like a I want to say the first section of that game just so I could kind of get a feel for it. But I'll either stream that or I'll just record it and put it up on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
Because that's I really really like 2D platformers, and the first Guacamelee is one of my favorites. So I'm hoping to have a good time with this next one. Oh, what else did I do? What did I do? Oh, I watched parts of Batman vs. TMNT, the new animated DC movie that came out.
Is it?
Yeah, no thanks.
Okay. Bad writing?
Yeah, it's just boring. I kind of just shut it off after a while.
Okay.
I think because I'm not like super into crossovers like that, so I feel like if you're really into Batman, if you're really into the TMNT, then that's more your speed. But I wasn't really feeling it.
I was gonna say animation's still good though.
No.
Okay.
It's not as good. Like not as good as like the Superman and Doomsday fight in Superman or in Death of Superman,
or like Batman Red Hood or anything like that.
Yeah, like definitely not as good as those.
Okay.
The fight scenes in those are way better.
Okay.
Like it's the animation, the choreography, and stuff.
It could ramp up towards the end of the movie, but who knows?
Well, because they were like, I got through like the fights that I guess matter. Like he fights Shredder pretty early on, and he fights the Turtles pretty early on, and both of those fights are about as good as you're gonna get, and they're not very good.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, I won't say they're not very good. They could have been better.
Yeah. No,
especially the Batman versus Shredder fight. That should have been like the big fight, you know. So
for you, who's an avid fan of just like comic movies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
animated.
It was kind of lacking.
Yeah. Now, I have a friend who's a big Ninja Turtle fan, and he's a big just fan of comics in general. So he's probably gonna love this movie no matter what.
Well, it's like when I was as I was watching, I was like comparing it to, you know, Planet Hulk, which I had literally just watched. You know, so and Planet Hulk's got really, really good action in there. Like it's got very well choreographed scenes, and you know the action feels like it actually means something. Gotcha. But in this, it's just like it doesn't really feel
like it has an impact
or anything.
Yeah.
It just feels like they're fighting for the sake of fighting. You know.
I got you.
So after that, I got into a big point in the week where I was just watching a lot of woodpecker videos.
Like Woody Woodpecker?
No, like woodpeckers just pecking at trees.
All right.
Just long videos of that. Because, I don't know, I like
that's a relaxing thing, don't you worry.
It is, yeah. It's just watching them just dig through a tree and do all that work on a tree to get into it. You know? It's
like when I sometimes go down the hole of watching general stuff done by experts.
Oh yeah.
So like people who've been working,
dudes who are doing their job but really, really well.
Yeah. So like the guy has to move barrels every day, but they don't have a machine, so he just tilts them to their side and rolls them. But he doesn't roll with them. He just grabs them, turns them like maybe like 35 degrees, and then spins them so that way the centrifugal force keeps them upright, and sends them to his friend who catches them and puts them up. So he's like they're like traveling hundreds of feet just over and over again. I'm like, damn. So it's just like stuff like that. There's the woman who cooks bread in hot oil, but she doesn't have feeling in her hand or some shit like that. So she's just like
so she just dunks her hand in there.
Just sticking her hand in the oil and moving the bread with her hand. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Or like those dudes who just like can cut up some fruit real fucking fast and throw it over the place and do whatever. Yeah.
Guys who like cut the bread and throw it to the oven behind them.
Right. Pizza dough guys who fucking got the shit rolling off their shoulders. And
you know there's a competition for that, right?
Really?
Yeah.
God, that's so nerdy. It's so dorky.
Juggling.
That's like a Bob's Burgers thing.
Juggling pizza dough. Yeah, that's the thing. But usually for that they use like thicker dough so that it doesn't...
Yeah, of course, yeah. So it doesn't break as easily. What else did I do? I didn't really do much else.
Plenty games other than Guacamole? Guacamole. I fixed it.
Just more Sekiro.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna be on that for a little while. That's probably just gonna be in my rotation for like a while.
I got you.
I'm probably gonna go back to. I'll probably put Hollow Knight back in there too here soon, since the sequel's coming out.
Okay.
I want to say in like a couple months.
Yeah, that game's gonna be interesting. I haven't played any Hollow Knight, but like I want to.
You should, dude. It's super, super fucking good.
Yeah. But with that, so we're gonna get into our first topic in like 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Thankfully,
yeah. I mean, we need to fill the time with something, and our weeks don't fill that time because this is the Working Man's Podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, I could bitch about my upcoming work.
No, we're good.
The weekend preview.
It's okay. It's okay.
Weekend preview.
We don't need to know any more about that.
I could talk about how we got fucking murdered on Mother's Day when we weren't supposed to.
I could talk about how we kept getting orders after we closed. That was fun.
Oh, that's shitty.
That's rough.
We closed at 1, but we had 5 orders on the screen.
Fuck
that. I just call those people up and be like, hey,
you're not getting
pizza.
y'all
ain't getting this shit.
Yeah, fuck is ordering pizza at 1 in the morning.
Like, there's just 5 orders that came in at 12:50. I'm just
some drunk assholes or some high assholes.
Like,
just
if you're that drunk or high, like, you should just go to Walmart and get their pizza. It's still there. It's still warm from like 2 in the afternoon when they made it.
That requires you to leave your weed or your alcohol at home.
You want the satisfaction of someone bringing one to you.
I guess.
Like
when you're in that state of mind, you're like, I don't want to do anything. Bring it to me.
And and if you're that drunk, you can barely get to your door most of the time.
Yeah, true.
Let alone get to Walmart.
I guess that's fair.
I don't want those motherfuckers on the road.
Yeah, I don't either.
But yeah, so our topic of this week is going to be favorite moments in video games.
Nice.
No, okay, no fanfare. Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Like,
just total sandbag.
I'm just like, all right, you guys can just sit there and not say a single word about this fucking topic because I have no fucking way of making this exciting. It's just sitting there, like, all right.
Actually, I have a like a moment that ever since this topic was brought up has been in the back of my mind, which was the fight of the fight of 1,000 Heartless, I think.
Yeah, that's
holy shit, that was such a good part of the game, and it was only like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something. You know?
But like it felt super intense. Shit did not stop coming.
I mentioned this to I think a lot of people when I was playing Kingdom Hearts 3, which was that I didn't so much dislike the writing as I just disliked the stakes for the game. Because even though I knew that, like, all the worlds are, you know, in trouble again and blah, 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 whatever. Like, there was nothing that really felt as hopeless as that fight.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you're so insanely overpowered in that fight, and it still feels like you're doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that gives a lot of weight to, like, what happens in the rest of the game. And admittedly, in Kingdom Hearts 3, there's, like... at the final world, which I'm not going to spoil because I feel like some people haven't played the game because they just heard bad reviews and don't want to play it. But there is, like... near the end of the final world, there's, like, a lot of stuff you have to do that kind of feels similar, but nowhere near as much.
Yeah.
And I wish they had really put in, like, an area where, like, you actually feel hopeless. And not even just the
character.
Not even just the character, because Sora totally loses hope at some point.
Yeah, but the player should feel hopeless.
Yeah, like, I don't know. And, like, there actually is a fight that is sort of similar, and it's right where Sora loses hope in this series, or not series, but in the game.
Yeah.
But I think that the main difference was, like, even though there was tons of Heartless and stuff, it was, like, they mostly just formed a ring, and there was one big Heartless you had to fight, and sometimes other ones would just kind of scatter in.
I gotcha.
Instead of, like, holy shit, there's actually just so many things happening right now.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Like,
because the difference between, like, hopeless and scripted loss is important. Because if, like, the first time you play a Dark Souls game, that first boss you encounter, you feel hopeless.
Yeah, I think it was more just, like, it didn't feel like we were up against insurmountable odds. Yeah. Because, like, in Kingdom Hearts 2, it was like you were up against, like, 1,000 Heartless. It was just an insane number, and they just kept coming.
Yeah.
And it was always, like, you had multiple enemies to fight. Like, even though they were normal enemies, you just had a shit ton of them to fight. Mm-hmm. But in the Kingdom Hearts 3 fight, it was, like, one big bad guy, and then every so often, like, a few little guys would come on just to give you some HP, because you had to kill them. Yeah. But, like, it never felt like you were fighting just more than one opponent, essentially. And I think that was the big difference.
Yeah,
that's a big part in Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, where there's a big fight happening, and you're dealing with a lot of enemies, and the boss is kind of just, you know, you're hitting the boss, and she's pushing you back, and you're like, is this a hopeless fight? Like you kind of have the stuff you need to just keep on going infinitely, but after a while, you're like, this hope is just fightless. I shouldn't be fighting, and it's like a story fight that is trying to teach you something.
Okay, yeah. Like as long as it doesn't feel like it's a scripted loss, it's a good fight.
Yeah.
And what's even better is when you have the chance of actually beating them if you stick it out long enough.
Yeah, like in Dark Souls or in DMC 5.
I think that's hilarious.
Or even Sekiro has that very first boss fight.
Yep.
you can either you can win against them in the actual fight, but the cutscene that happens afterwards is you still get fucked up.
Do you get anything bonus for that?
You get the cutscene afterwards changes a little bit, but that's basically it.
There's a game that did that a long time ago that I used to play the shit out of that I don't remember.
You know what else has it? Golden Sun. It had the very first boss fight is a hopeless boss fight.
You know what else has it? Is Kingdom Hearts 1. Because the Leon fight.
Oh, right. Well,
that's right.
Yeah, but you can beat that one too, though. Yeah, so that one, that's perfect. That's the point. That's the point. Yeah. I was gonna say, wait a second. That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Kingdom Hearts 2.
Actually, Golden Sun's a bunch of those because usually it's because they are scripted, a lot of them. But you'll like fight an enemy and then you'll try to hit it and then you'll be like, "What the fuck? Nothing's happening." And then like the battle will just stop and then your characters will talk about how they can't hit it.
I always love those, dude. Okay, that's one of my biggest pet peeves in like media is when heroes or whatever, they're like trying to hit a bad guy and the bad guy's just dodging all the shit, and then like they take like a 5-minute break for conversation and the bad guy just doesn't hit them at all. It's
he just lets them talk. Yeah,
it's like, dude, you're trying to rule the world. Like, we're already evil. You know you're evil. You don't have to abide by like some 18th century idea of like chivalry.
These are the only people who have come to stand against you, and you're not just gonna kill them instantly the instant you have a chance.
Yeah, it's just like fucking take your scythe and slice horizontally, and then all of your problems are gone.
Guys,
that guy with the spiky hair and the giant sword, stop looking at me. That's my chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Break his neck.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
You know what one of my favorite game moments is from? It's from iNinja. Do you guys remember this fucking game?
iNinja?
iNinja.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna look this up.
Oh boy, do I miss this game. This game is the dumbest shit ever, but I fucking loved it as a kid.
This game looks jank as fuck.
It is jank as fuck.
I remember this fucking asshole.
Yeah,
I did play this.
You get the different headbands, and you get more power ups depending on what color headband you are, and it goes all the way up to black headband, and then you're a god basically. This was one of my favorite platformers back in the day.
I used to get this confused with Shinobi. That fucking let's see. Here we go. Yeah, it came out like the year before.
Yeah,
it's just another ninja game.
Yeah.
The game starts with a ninja in training, simply named Ninja, who comes to rescue his sensei, simply named Sensei.
Sensei, yep. It was
fantastic writing.
iNinja was way up its own ass and it knew it.
Master Shifu.
And Emperor Sensei. Oder.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Because he was a smelly bad guy.
Yeah, no, I had gathered.
Yeah.
Actually,
I believe he threw a bunch of pigs at you, if I remember correctly.
Nice. You know what game I really liked, but no one else has ever fucking played? Fucking Haunted Mansion.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
But let me tell you one of my favorite moments from that game, because this is actually like this could happen at any point past a certain time, but at the end of the game, like through the last like third of it, they're just bad guys who will come out of the darkness and one shot or two shot you. They'll come in, swing their sides, take half your HP, and just walk away. And they can come out from like anywhere. And they come out super fast. So you have to run around always holding your lantern charged.
Yeah.
And anyway, but like you get to the last boss fight, and like all of the stuff that you've been using to like beat the game gets taken away from you at the last second. And
then you have to fight.
At the end of the game, does anyone give a shit if I spoil this game?
No,
I feel like
it's like 30 years old.
No way.
It's like 15 years old. It's like, go for it.
Hold on, I want to see how old is this game actually. I feel like it is actually 16 years old. All right, so the main guy that you've been helping turns into is the bad guy.
Yeah,
and he turns into a giant caterpillar.
Okay.
And Madame Leota, like ball in a head, or the head in a glass ball, like crystal ball, from the movie.
I can picture it.
Okay, so she's your only friend, and then like he takes away all your powers, and you put her into the lantern you've been using to shoot light out, and you use her as your weapon for the final
Wow.
And it is so fucking stupid, and I love it so much.
Nice.
Yeah, that game is great.
All right, so my favorite game moment though has to be Demon Souls though. It has to be for 100%. Yeah, for the simple fact that this is the day my PS3 broke.
Oh.
I don't know if I told this story on the podcast before, have I?
I don't think so.
All right, so playing Demon Souls, I have, I think, 20 hours into it at this point because I'm really bad at it, but I love the game so much. But like I have like 20, maybe 30 hours into the game. And I come across this guy who's like, hey, there's a sword in this area that is cursed. When you pick it up, it's going to curse you, so don't wield it. So then I go and find the sword.
Of course, you pick it up.
And I pick it up. Well, I mean, you're supposed to pick it up. You're just not supposed to wield it. And I'm like, looking at it. I'm like, huh. You know, these are pretty good stats. And it says it's just a life drain. That's not too bad. I have a ring that gives me life for a second anyways. So they should just cancel each other out. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll go ahead and equip it. So I equipped it. And then as I do, my game screen freaks out for a second. And I'm like, well, that was weird. Oh, well, we're fine. I walk out of the room I was in, and half the textures don't load. None of the stairs load. None of the stonework loads. None of those textures load. It's all still there, because I'm walking around on invisible platforms at this point, because I remember the stage almost like the back of my hand, right? And I'm like, all right, so this is what the curse does. Cool. I should be able... Maybe I'll just take the sword off, because I don't want to deal with this in every stage. So I'm like, just equipping the sword, get back to the bonfire. I'm like, maybe it's just the sword. So maybe if I just unequip the sword. So I unequip the sword, nothing loads back in. I'm like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right.
Wait. So you thought the sword was... the sword makes textures not loading? This is the sword of graphical error!
So then
I'd be down.
Wield it at your peril, Dark One.
I figured that's what it was. It's like because he was saying I was like makes you drowsy and the lust of the sword will make you go crazy and whatnot. And I'm like, all right,
it'll make you see the world as big polygons.
So I figured that was just part of the sword. So I make it back to the bonfire. I unequip the sword and I'm like, all right, maybe if I just reload the area, we'll be fine. No. And then I tried a bunch of other stuff. Still no. Nothing's loading. Oh no. And it turned out my computer, or not my computer, my PS4 got corrupted. Mm-hmm. And it was just broken from there on out. And I was so sad. So very sad. That's when I got super into League, because I couldn't play anything else.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So when you had no options, you went rooting around the garbage.
Yep. Went down to their level. But yeah,
I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, that was my that was probably my favorite gaming moment. Other than
a heated gamer moment.
Yeah, epic, so epic, we're the best.
For me, it's probably when I was playing my Japanese copy of Mega Man 03 back when I was a kid.
Not Golden Sun.
And I had, Golden Sun sure has a bunch of great moments, but like the first time I played Mega Man 03, I had no idea what was going on. I just knew that cool shit was happening. Because I couldn't read any of it.
Yeah.
So, I like accidentally stumbled upon Phantom in that secret zone and shit. And then when I got to the final boss, basically it was just like hype moment that I didn't see coming. Like when you fight Mega Man, or when you fight X, and I was like, oh shit, this is the coolest thing ever. I could fight Mega Man. And then you find a random ninja guy that I had no idea, who I found out later was Phantom. And then the final boss is, Omega. Mm-hmm. So at first he's just a big gold guy who shoots purple lasers at you, and then he's the like weird Zero Omega X giant monster thing. But then when you beat that, he just becomes you. And I remember as a kid getting so fucking hype at the concept of just you fighting yourself, like a giant thing breaking down and just being you inside of it, and you fight yourself. And it's like, that's the final boss fight. That shit to me was so cool that now anytime I see like your opponent is basically just a guy, but not only he's just a guy, he's basically just you.
Yeah.
You know, that's always that shit. Like it's just cool to me, and it's stuck with me for so long.
There's a fight in Demon Souls like that.
There's a fight in every Souls game that's like that.
Well, I mean, it's one of the final bosses though, so it's not like because a lot of I guess Bloodborne had it.
Yeah, you literally fight the first hunter.
Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, do they have fights like that? Or
they don't have like they're not necessarily like boss fights, I don't think, but you fight like guys.
Gotcha. So in the one I like the most is Demon Souls. We all know this. There's a
I think DS3 has it, but I'm not sure what boss it is. I can't remember.
In Demon Souls, there's my favorite fight that I ended on because I couldn't beat the game because my PS3 crashed. But you know the size of the spinny blade guys in D3.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're like maybe twice the size of you, not quite twice, but like there's a spear guy who has like full plate armor, but he floats around, and you have to fight this dude who like launches himself at you at like Mach speeds. You're just like, oh fucking shit.
That's basically how Sekiro is all the time. Everybody's launching themselves at you as fast as possible.
I love that fucking shit. Absolutely love it.
Do you love a guy stepping on the head of a spear as it comes towards him?
Stepping on the head of a spear?
Yeah, like you're about to get stabbed, and then you just jump on the like the tip of the spear and like stomp it to the ground.
Oh yeah, that shit's cool.
Yeah, that's just an average thing you get to do in Sekiro. It's like one of the earliest.
Oh, nice! I fucking love that kind of shit. Yeah,
it's super cinematic too, especially when you do it's like a boss.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sandbag. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have much to add there because I haven't played too much of those games.
All right. Well,
so.
you know, my other favorite moment, it's got to be Brave Spencer Musashi, man. What game. That game is fucking great. Stop.
I know, it's just like it's your golden son.
It is my golden son for sure.
See, there you go.
But there's
you know how I feel.
There's a thing that that game introduced to me that I never really thought of as a concept in a video game, and that is a fucking timer.
Oh.
And games of that era, when they have a timer, that's a serious timer. Like there's not that big of a window for error as a kid.
Yeah.
As a kid, I probably could go back now and be fine, but like I had so much trouble with that, but I loved it so much for that fact. Because it was actually a struggle instead of just being like, I can just smash through this, no problem. But yeah, no, that game just had so many things, and I just love the timer aspect.
Yeah, one of the things it had was a sequel with a really weird design choice.
Really weird. Like we're like, oh, we can do full 3D models now. But
yeah, so make them like twice as tall and super edgy and this shit for no reason.
It's like when they were small little like 3 foot tall midgets, like everyone looked like a 3 foot tall midget.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh right, he's a full grown man. That's weird.
Is he? He's like a teenager in the sequel. He looks like a teenager.
He's like 16, I think, in the sequel.
Which in Japan is basically a grown ass man.
Yeah, and then like in the first one, I think he was like 14 or 13 or something like that. I'm just like, oh, this is weird. It's just really... And like the first mission, you're picking up some chick and running with her while he fights.
Yeah, because you're supposed to like protect her or something, and she gets kidnapped or some shit. Or whatever.
Just like, what where is my wind blade? Why can't I fly? Where's my fire stuff? It's just...
Where's the fantastical adventure? Who are these soldiers?
Who are these pointless people to fight? Like, I'm supposed to be saving the world, not saving some broad.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Good times.
It seems like every time I like mentally check out, I always come back at like the weirdest fucking statements. It's just consistent. I don't understand.
That's great. It's good times. All right, anyone else have some good game moments? Do you have a gamer moment for us? Is it epic?
Heated gamer moment.
Is it epic? You better make it epic.
Yeah, I'm a gamer. I cheat on my wife.
Oh man!
My favorite epic heated gamer moment is Pro Jared getting blown the fuck out by literally everyone on the internet.
Did you see what Pro ZD said?
It's a bad time to have pro in your name.
Yep, it's a bad time to.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Oh man!
Oh my god, that shit is just so fucking.
I've actually kept up with it a little bit just to see what happens, just to see what like the fallout is. But it's just kind of the more they kind of try to explain, like the people involved, while I try to make excuses as to why the relationships didn't work out, it starts to just make you kind of sick in the stomach.
I'm just like, it's so stupid the way it happened. I'm just like, all right, so this guy and his wife didn't decide to have an open relationship, and then he cheated.
Well, they did at first, and then she was like, "No, I don't wanna."
And did he not respect that?
It turned into something. Yeah, he didn't. He like just kept seeing this other chick, even though his wife at the time told him to explore his feelings for this other chick. It's like you all brought this upon yourselves.
Yeah. And I mean, did Ross know anything about it?
Well, they had been divorced by that point.
Yeah, they've been divorced for a minute.
Okay, so he wasn't dating Ross's wife. He was
dating Ross's ex-wife.
Okay,
yeah.
So that
although there are like rumors or whatever that something was going on, and that it might have led to Ross and that other chick breaking up.
Gotcha.
Or whatever.
Because I mean, like,
but whatever.
Because it's okay if they were already apart, but like, I'm just like, I feel so bad for Ross because I thought they were still together, but it's not as bad.
Why are we talking about this?
Who fucking knows?
Because you said epic gamer moments, and I brought up the meme. Okay.
Yes, I cheated, and I'm not sorry. And I don't feel bad
That's
about it.
Like, it's just...
I feel fine.
It's the worst. It is the worst.
Okay, I actually do have two more moments.
All right.
So, the first one is, very quickly, just the ending of the Batman the Enemy Within, the Telltale game.
Okay.
The second one. Because how that one ends is really depressing, and I love it.
Jeez.
And I know they won't make any more because Telltale went out of business, but it's actually fantastic. And if anyone hasn't played it yet and likes the Telltale games, 100% get both Batman games because it's 100% worth it.
I was gonna say, don't worry, someone will pick up the mantle at some point.
Yeah, I just hope they keep the writing as well.
Well, I know that some of the Telltale people went to go make a company that basically just does what Telltale did.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they just need to be smart and not take 7,000 orders all at the same time.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to do everybody's game.
Yeah. The other thing is they just had huge fucking IPs, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah, Game of Thrones, Batman, Walking Dead,
Borderlands,
Borderlands.
Borderlands.
They never remade the engine, so the engine was ass. So they're like,
because they never got a chance to, because they're always working on fucking games.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, and the other one, really quickly, was the ending of Battlefield Bad Company 2. Which, have you guys played that game?
No.
Oh my god, the ending is so awesome. So like the first game is pretty grounded in like reality. It's a little bit it's zany, but it's not like anything out there. And then Bad Company 2 is just like balls to the wall, like Hollywood action movie. In the ending, you jump out of a plane and kill the bad guy mid-air and skydive to a friend who has a parachute. Like that's how the game ends. Essentially,
that's pretty badass. Yeah,
it's fucking sick. And then the other thing is they hint at a Bad Company 3. Like they're like, oh yeah, the Russians are invading America, and they're like, okay, so Bad Company 3, that was like 7 years ago. EA, get your shit together. DICE, get your shit together. Stop whoring out Star Wars.
You tell EA to get their shit together.
Stop whoring out Star Wars and make Bad Company 3. I don't care if you put loot boxes in it because I'm not going to pay for them. Just fucking make it.
But what if the loot boxes ruin the game?
I will break the game. Okay.
The balance is fucked up.
Guess what? They're not allowed to put loot boxes in games anymore. So instead, they're gonna put boxes of loot.
Yeah,
pretty much, bro. But anyway, it was just like, oh god, I love that series so much, and like the fact that they haven't made it yet, and they've still continued to make Battlefield games. It's not like they haven't made Battlefield games. It's just like, I just want them to make Battlefield Bad Company 3.
It's because Bad Company was for misogynist white man or something, so they're not going to make any more of those.
I guess.
What?
Since that's what EA and DICE do now.
What?
Did you not see all that Battlefield 4 shit?
No.
About how the people who were making the game were talking mad shit to people who didn't understand why this random chick had like why this random chick was in the game. Like, I guess for Battlefield 4 there was some one-handed chick who in reality wouldn't have been able to fight on the front lines.
Oh, Battlefield 5.
Everybody was kind of calling that out, and then like
Gotcha.
the devs were talking about how everybody was basically just misogynist, sexist, or whatever because they didn't see it. They saw a woman on a thing.
Yeah, like I have mixed feelings about that because I don't mind female representation in games.
Yeah,
'Cause, like-
yeah, I don't either. Like, it's not a big deal that she's on there. Like, I don't see why people were getting so upset. It's a fucking stupid fan. It's just like stupid fantasy war almost. You know, we know it's not a real wartime thing. So
Yeah, that was the big deal for me. It was that it wasn't that she was a chick. It was that she had an arm that would not be there. Like,
yeah,
and it's like it's not even like, oh, this is like steampunk World War II that we're going. No, it's like this is supposed to be World War II. You know,
yeah. Like it's like she's injured. She wouldn't be allowed back on the front lines like that.
Yeah.
or it's like, you know, I don't mind her like fighting on the front lines if she's like a resistance fighter where they don't have an option.
Yeah.
But
Right,
it's like
yeah.
she's supposed to be like military, like legit
That's
military.
supposed to be a straight up soldier.
I was gonna say that, or she got injured and continued fighting while injured.
No, she has she puts like a hook hand.
Yeah,
on.
I know.
Yeah, it's
But-
like a
But what I'm saying is, like, that's the other way I would accept it.
yeah. Or and it's just like, or it's like, hey, you know, like even if she's military and got injured and like they fixed her, or like she has a stump arm, whatever, or they like splinted it up so she has something there just so she doesn't go into shock. But they're like, hey, we're stuck behind enemy lines. Like we can't have you not fight because if you're just gonna be dead weight, like this isn't gonna work. I would totally have accepted that, but it's just like the way that it was introduced and the fact that there were women fighting in World War II, right? Like
Yeah.
there was like I remember PewDiePie bringing it up, but it was like
I know,
a division
it was
of
like-
like
it was
Russian
like-
snipers
it
or
was-
something that was all female.
Yeah, it was like a small brigade or whatever, but mostly they were like back home doing other stuff. They were like taking care of everything else while the men were out dying.
Yeah, but I mean, like, focus on those guys. If you want to add a woman
Yeah.
in, which is totally fine, like, make it realistic. To
Right,
the
have a
time
story
period.
mode about that team.
Or like,
You know,
yeah, or like, make it make sense in the context of this is a historical recreation in game.
Yeah.
yeah. Don't just throw her. Just don't have a girl in there for having a girl in their sake.
It's like-
it has to mean something.
It's like when you see commercials and you see that one obligated black guy or black woman,
yeah,
and you're like,
or like how every commercial started having like interracial couples.
Yeah. It's like-
you know, after like that one Cheerios ad.
now I get it. It's like we shouldn't be pointing it out because it should be like that, where it just. But
Oh yeah, but it's so obvious.
there's
and
sometimes there's a
corporate
lot of
and
commercials where you're
fake.
just like, they put it in there because they had to.
Well, because it's always like the same thing too. It's like, all right, black dad, white mom, or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Actually, there was a commercial I
little
saw.
girls, like a little. I saw one that was like an Asian and a white lady, a white guy and an Asian, a white guy and an Asian guy.
Yeah, I finally seen one where it was a white father and a black woman, and the child was also like he was mixed, but he was on the
Mixed,
lighter
yeah.
side. I'm like, you done it right. You done it.
I always
right.
find it. I always find it really funny when like it's very obvious that they don't know each other.
like their interactions are just awkward. Like,
yeah, it's
they
like
they
this
have
is
no
not the
chemistry.
person that you like knocked up 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, no,
this is like
you
the
met
person
them
that you
last
met
week.
today on set.
Yeah.
Cool. That's what makes those. Who's that fucking that one chick and that one guy, like Dax Shepard, I think is his name or some shit, and his wife.
Don't know what you're talking about.
But they do like little ads, and they actually are married, so like their chemistry is good.
Gotcha.
You know,
Like that awkward hand on the shoulder isn't so awkward.
right? Yeah, it feels like they're actually like being playful with each other
Yeah.
and having a good time or whatever. You know, actually living out their life in the ad.
I still say to
Ridiculous.
this day, my favorite commercial for that kind of stuff is the "Who's my little horse?" You guys not know what I'm talking
I
about?
don't want to do with that.
All right, so
no.
it's this black couple, right? And they it's an adoption commercial about adopting people or adopting kids, not people.
Oh, I know.
Stand
that.
back,
and
It's like those government ads or whatever.
yeah,
those,
yeah. So this
public service
this
announcements about
mom
adoption.
this mom
yeah,
is
yeah.
putting their adopted daughter into a lion or a horse costume, and the dad comes home and goes, "Hey, how's my little lion? She's a horse." Yes, she is.
Yeah, and it's like you don't have to be like the perfect parent, but you just have to be there or whatever. It's like
that's exactly
those public service announcements.
I'm like those
are actually really good ads. Those are like cute little ads.
Yeah. He's like it's a slice of life that's like exactly how it would be in real life.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. My dad was never around.
Neither was mine.
Oh well, mine was.
Oh, lucky you having two parents.
Good for you, motherfucker.
I did for a while.
Mr. Two Parents.
I did.
Who love him very much.
I did. They still love me, but they did.
Well, isn't that fun?
I had a pretty good upbringing. I did.
Well, good for you, la-dee-da.
Yo, you know what? But guess what? At least you guys got to go do things. I was grounded 24/7.
That's true. You were grounded like all the fucking time.
I'm sure if my parents cared enough about me, they would have grounded me, but they never did. So.
Oh man, it was bad. Oh man, the worst was one day after dinner, I decided to go sit down on the couch for a little bit before doing dishes. Because man, I ate too much.
I remember that. Yeah,
and I got grounded. I got grounded for a week and a half because I didn't do the dishes immediately.
Well,
2 seconds. Took a second to just sit down for a sec. She was like, "Oh, nope, you're grounded."
I was just like sitting there, just like, yeah, this is some good food. Hey, what are these? The dishes? I'm gonna do them in a second. You're grounded. And she goes to her room. I'm like, what just happened?
So what did I do?
Yeah, what didn't you do?
Oh man,
Right.
It was good times. So I love my mom.
Oh.
Yeah. I would hope so.
Fuck. Can I add one more moment? To
Yeah.
the,
No. Go,
to the pile?
I was gonna. Before you do that, I have one thing I want to say. I just realized all my favorite moments in video games is with the bonus games, and my favorite games have the best bonus games that I enjoy.
Like the God of War fucking minigame?
Yes. Totally.
That's
100%. You go back to that ship and you go plow that girl. And that other girl.
Don't think about your wife or child.
That's all over you.
Right. Don't think about how one of these girls don't think about how in a God of War
Don't think
I want to say Chains of Olympus, the chick he fucks in that game is like technically his cousin.
Don't
because he's Zeus's son.
Don't think about how you're technically putting your wife and child inside another woman.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's just consistency.
All right, enough of that. Anyways, like for me, it's like Blitzball and Final Fantasy. Blitzball.
Oh yeah, I still have to finish that game.
So there's Blitzball. There's what's it called in Final Fantasy VII. There's the Condor fight. The Condor save the eggs by playing this mini game. I love that shit. Absolute. I put way too much gil into that. Oh man, I play that game so much. So there was that. Like I just love the mini games and video games in general. I don't know why. It's probably my favorite parts of video games. All right, go ahead with your moment now.
Okay, it's just in the Deadpool video game.
Mm-hmm.
So you meet the main bad guy like 2 hours in.
Yeah.
And if you actually sneak up to him, you can kill him right then and there, and the game's over.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's like in what is it? Paper Mario, where they're like, "Will you help us save the universe?" And you can just be like, "No," and the game ends.
Game's over.
The credits roll.
Oh my god, I read about that later because I fucked up the stealth. And they were like, "Oh yeah, no, that's like actually a thing. You can just end the game there." And it's just like, what? They actually let you do? Like, I just think it's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. Go ahead. Cameron.
No, I was gonna just say I agree, but yeah.
Okay, so what I just realized one of my favorite moments was literally in Sekiro. So there's a guy. So you go into a well, right? And you talk to a guy, and he's like, "I came to this well because I heard there was this fucking pussy ninja who failed at protecting his master, and I came to find him. And of course, you're the ninja, and he doesn't realize that. So he says that, and then you can literally walk out of the well and go above that guy and get a sneak attack death blow on him. You know." So it's because he's talking all this mad shit, and you can just go right back at him. It's so hilarious. He's not super hard. He's basically a boss. He's like a mini boss, but his moveset basically gets used for like some elite mooks later.
Gotcha.
So he's not super hard or anything. But the environment he's in too also makes him easier because the kind of moveset he has is a lot of jumping moves, a lot of kicks. Like his moves cover a lot of ground, but because he's in such a tight space, you can kind of just shut all that down.
Okay.
But some guys come back for revenge later. They're like, "You killed our buddy. He was a fucking moron, but you killed him. You gotta fight for him."
You know,
if my friends were so stupid as to get killed, is to talk shit to a ninja, and then not realize that they were talking shit to the ninja they're talking shit about. I'm just like, you know what? Oh, fuck him.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like he was a dumbass. He deserved it. He earned it.
I will have to say, I think one of my other favorite moments is in Demon Souls is there's a weapon called Hand of God. You can get 2 of them. They have ridiculously high scaling on faith, but the best part about them is that their heavy attack move is this uppercut that you charge for like 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds. And if you played any Demon or any Souls games, you know that's pretty much death.
Yeah, that's just gonna fucking crush you.
So my goal is, if they ever port Demon Souls, or if I ever buy another PS3, is to do a whole run with just the Hand of God and kill every boss with that heavy attack.
I thought they did port Demon Souls.
No, they haven't ported Demon Souls.
Oh, never mind.
They keep talking about how they're probably not going to ever because they feel like that game is a disappointment.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is a disappointment.
It's so fucking good!
It's a pile of shit.
I love it.
Well, as we've established...
Yes, I know.
You like piles of
I
shit.
do.
Steaming hunkers of shit.
As long as it's only metaphorical.
And maybe once or twice literal.
No, never. I will kill you. I will kill you and then lay your body on the shit and then set it on fire. Only then will I get enjoyment from it, from seeing your body burn.
Okay, let's just, it's been a good podcast.
It's been a great podcast. It's been wonderful. Where can we find you, Derek?
You can find me at Game in Second on Twitter. At Game in Second at YouTube and Twitch, and real_CIS on Twitter.
Alrighty, and Deshaun, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Urban Buddha. You can find me on YouTube at Mr. Urban Buddha, and you can catch me on Twitch at The Urban Buddha. Mysterious things are coming.
Ew. Sounds wonderful. And you can find me at I Press the Buttons on YouTube, Twitch, and technically Twitter. So that's all you got from me. Now, have a good day. And as always,
and remember,
laugh
at yourself.
We'll catch you next time.
Play Golden Sun.
Bye.
Oh, you beat me to it.